blockade out from the trees, and the fragrance of the dew. But in places where the flowers bloom, there's only the smell of tomorrow. Because the smell was so strong, so it crushed all the other smells. He shook the cup of tea in his hand and put it directly on the table. The wings of the morning flower floating on the tea. The horse continued to speak, but the world is a place where all things live in harmony. Right. So, then the smell that disrupts that harmony of tomorrow's flowers. Then I like the smell of tea even more. More than that. Listen to the horse. Brother Sao puzzled glared at him. In my mind wondering. At the moment. That's what he said. The smell of tomorrow breaks the harmony and drown out all the smells. Why is he referring to the painting in the past? Because I want to confess the world, so I rejected his father-in-law. The horse smiled and said, the idea of tea is here. Human tissue chief, let's talk about the main thing. Frankly, this relationship. Our friends are more like our enemies than our friends. You're here. You probably want to eat me alive now. Am I right? I don't know if I said the wrong thing. The horse doesn't hide anymore. Tell them directly. The relationship of Hoa-san and Nam. It's like a broken ceramic vase. What to waste in vain? To mend a vase that's already broken. What are you doing? Even if you try to heal it, it's impossible. Erase all those broken traces. Head of Hoa-san. Listen to him say that. Sighs full of fatigue and dread. You in my mind. He said he had no intention of opening a church. Sao female. South Africa is now officially declared that they'll place the flower under their feet. This is a huge insult. It's for our flower. I sat next to him, yelling. This is not so sudden, why? The horse calmly replied. I should have done this a long time ago. I am helpless, said the elder. Then he asked Yuang Am. Then let me ask you one more question. Do you think the current paint? They are qualified to be our enemy. Or why? He laughed out loud. Ha 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 ha. This is ridiculous. It's been a pleasure to have a painting so far. Just like our South. You've done the moral work that needs to be done. How humiliated am I to sit still? He's agitated, screaming out loud. What are you offering? You're a little harsh. The horse kept silent and said nothing. After a while, he lowered his voice. Where are we heavy on words? Ever since, the South has forgotten the hatred, and still help Hoa paint all the time. That's right. Not to mention, Hoa Kai meeting always held in Hoa-san. It's not an injustice or a Sao. Even so, every time Hoa-san opens the Hoa Kai Association, South Korea is always to paint a certain amount of property. But you still want to blame our South Vietnamese. Clasped hands together, cosmetic chili powder. The truth is not that. The reason that Hoa Tryon Kai Association is always held in Hoa-san, that's because the South wants to get there, to laugh at a dwindling mountain. And to all disciples of Hoa-san, see the winning appearance of Nam shrimp in the martial arts, and the radish in the name of helping that flower. It's just bait. The paint can't be rejected. Open the flowering chapter only. Then he glanced at his brother is sitting nearby. He looked at the boss's face like that. My guess is that. It seems like the chief. I can't believe the words I just heard. What he just said, though. Even if it's hard to hear. But it's true. I can't even refute a word. The captain said to the captain, if you find it difficult to understand, then we'll make it easier to understand. Just need you see the results of the show this time. Then Hoa-san will be the first to say that. Will never be. Open a new chapter again. If you don't, they want to destroy the children. I hope you will think carefully. The helicopter just stood up and left. As soon as he walked to the door, your brother they quickly stopped him. Elder, are you going to call the world or SAO? I hear you in question like that. The horse was a little startled. Thinking does not answer. After a while, he said firmly, that's not in my decision. Then quickly turn around and leave. The helicopter has just left. The atmosphere in the room. It's very stressful and uncomfortable right now. No one said a word. The thunder was so angry that it gritted its teeth. The face is filled with blue veins. He's agitated, banging his hands on the table, yelling out loud. Why can you be so careless? Sitting next to him talking. So far, whenever the center is opened, that people are behaving unlawfully. But this is the first time they've gone so far. I am also annoyed. Just an elder, no more, no less. You dare to be insolent in front of the chief. That's how you see it. He turned puzzled. Tell your boss in. It's not that we should be clear. This is with Nam, or Y. The master replied calmly. Just leave it on. I am confused to say, but the head of this. Your brother quickly spoke. Sometimes words are a useless thing. What else do we say now? It doesn't make any sense. Even if humiliated, as much as we can bear. But what we're worried about now is something else. The boss frowned nervously. They say we are worried about the kids. I hear that. You have also become mute, silence, not say anything anymore. Brother-in-chief continued to speak. He said those words. It means that the martial arts match of the Hoa Tribal Association this time, it will be more dangerous than ever. Whether we're hurt or humiliated, as much as we can take. But the pain that the children will suffer. I know what to do now. Everyone heard the words of the chief buyer. After that, everyone became worried and confused. I am confused thinking. It will be more dangerous than ever. If so, now, let's stop organizing the FCA. Maybe it's still time. But the body is a fake martial artist. For fear of the enemy, give up. I haven't tried anyone at the same level as me. That gave up. Then that bad reputation will follow us for the rest of our lives. The more I think of him, I'm feeling more depressed and stuck than ever. All the people of Hoa-san now. It's very mixed emotions. Even if you can't fight, you can't quit. Right now, Ungum spoke up to break the tense atmosphere. Chief student, you don't have to think that much. Those people in this $1 billion round, I want to show people the difference between Nam and Hoa Sun. Then go everywhere. LAN transmission Hoa Sun is not qualified to become a celebrity. This will be a fatal blow for a school. They have lost their place like us. That's not what they're aiming for or why. Brother-in-Chief quickly responded. Of course, it is. But we don't have any other plans. Rush Chen words. You don't have to use a special book. It's not that we don't lose them in a billion-dollar battle. It's okay. Human tissue chief, the kids have been working out every day. Please trust the kids this time. Watch them try that. Maybe. The good news will come to us without knowing. You see the attitude of Grace, so full of trust. Your boss can't help but be a little surprised. Gum looked at the master smiling with determination. The scene moves to another place. The kids are running wild in the yard right now. The urge echoed everywhere. Let's go faster. My ass is running and threatening. Let us catch up. I'm going to send you all to hell. Please, Than Min. Now, it's your turn to prove it to everyone. The view moved to Hoa Sun's kitchen. The atmosphere here is very boisterous and fun. Everyone is the same. They all focus on eating to satisfy their appetite. There was an exhilarating laughter echoing through the room. That is, but while everyone. They are all enjoying it enthusiastically. Kim Long just sat there. I look at the delicious food in front of me. In a nonchalant and indifferent way. Kim Long was annoyed. It's such a big party. It doesn't make us feel comfortable at all. The man sitting next to me saw him like that. In the heart is not free from aesthetic bewilderment. The big brother's fearful face. He immediately said, Big brother, the fact that Hoa Sun is extremely arrogant is true. But in the end, the most important thing is martial arts. Not so or so. Even if they have some pretty fancy looks. Dressed in silk velvet. Every day, you eat delicious food, so why? A school where martial arts doesn't work. It's just an empty box. Kim Long coldly replied that he was right. But what we're really looking for? He broke his wands in anger in two. He crouched his face and said, It's a total victory. Seconds later, Kim Long banged his chopsticks against the table. Stand up immediately. His eyes were full of ambition. Tiger Hero said the fame of money and martial arts. We have to outdo them in every way. Win as overwhelmingly and perfectly as possible. If you can't do that, it doesn't make any sense. If someone is present, you can bring it out. It is comparable to a painting that is failing. Then, that's the great insult for our southern tribe. We can't let a place like this get in the way. We can catch our feet. Suddenly, Kim Long burst out loud. You guys have forgotten everything. We are our generation. We must make the South become the world. First class. So the relaxed form is coming here. The journey of the brothers. It makes me really angry. Know how to keep your own will. And don't forget, what's our purpose in coming to this place? Those who do not maintain the appearance they must have of a male disciple. Don't bother the elders. I will not forgive that person first. Do you remember clearly? The people below heard him say that in a hurry. The answer is you remember it well. At this moment, in the distance, there was applause. Kim Long glanced back and looked. I saw the horse coming from outside. Slowly step inside. He smiled in praise. The words I should have said. Kim Long spoke for me. Kim Long bowed his head and said hello. Please see the elders. The people behind him also spoke. Please see the elders. Kim Long said it was a shame. If you know he will come, I wouldn't have said something like this. The horse didn't blame him. On the contrary, are you satisfied with praise? Your words are wonderful. My body is a disciple of Nam. Then, of course, always keep those thoughts in your head. In addition to that, the party this time, you can't just stop at winning. We have to do it for them. I don't dare mention the 2 letters. Do you understand what I'm saying or not? Kim Long asked what he meant. The horse immediately explained. Billion martial arts is to compete martial arts. Don't hurt the enemy. That's the basic rule. But the atmosphere of the disciples of Hoa Sun, here, it's so tough. Then we need to reconsider. No matter how old our hearts are, it must also have its limits. Do you understand what I'm saying? Kim Long suffered from his words. It fills my face with wonder. The next second, his attitude immediately changed 180 degrees. Kim Long burst out with a smile, extremely insidious and terrifying. He told the steed, if we fight with that kind of air, then we're not at risk of getting hurt here either. Or why? The horse replied to him, no, of course not. No matter how important martial arts is. But let our disciples get hurt. What's the point? Be careful and end the fight this time. With thought, don't let yourself get hurt. Even if you break your arm or hurt their feet. Finished talking, he glanced at Kim Long with a look full of meaning. Kim Long immediately understood what he meant. Want to respond quickly? I will restrain the monks and end the martial arts, without any incident to happen. The 4 horses nodded and said, I will give you full control over everything. And I have something to ask of you. Kim Long calmly replied, please give her an order. The horse kept saying, that insolent boy. You absolutely must not let that boy's name. Wild action. Kim Long asked again. The elder will, you're talking about a middle-aged boy. The private driver said, the boy is not even 20 years old yet. You're lying in front of me. If that boy grows up and leads Hoa Sun tomorrow, then it's going to be something we can't accept. So, we've got to get rid of that germ. Kim Long obeyed. I understand what the elder said. And then he turned around and called out his weapon. The force hears that. He quickly ran to his side. Yes, master. He stood solemnly. Bow respectfully to the elder. Kim Long introduces Theo with 4 horses. This child's name is Propaganda. Although not the oldest, but he's considered the greatest genius. Among the 3rd generation disciples, you could say he's the best kid. To deal with that kid and the facilities of tomorrow, I will make the elders happy. I'm sure you'll deal with that kid's name. The horse replied with a smile, I believe in you. I heard the two of them say that. Just silence full of contemplation, didn't say a word. Riding in the heart of aesthetic excitement. This show will be a prelude. Opening up the hung-thin period of our southern tribe. The mountain will definitely be trampled on. The scene moved to that evening. The space is very quiet and fresh. Chun Cotton just opened the door and came out and saw the AI. Yogen is standing in the middle of the field. He looked up at the sky with a thoughtful face. Looks like you're having a conversation. The Yogen bowed his head with a deep sigh of boredom and fatigue. Suddenly Chun spoke up. Asking makes you a little nervous. Why are you here at this hour? The Yogen replied calmly because he couldn't sleep there. I wonder where the cotton is. The Yogen fell asleep. Chian Po couldn't believe it. He complained. That kid's liver is made of iron or something. Yo Wen followed up with him. I saw him lying down with his hands and feet like a letter. He's still snoring. There's nothing to worry about. Chun said in admiration. I'm a little jealous too. But that, I also feel like he's a psychopath. It's new, and tomorrow the party will start. Well, it's not today, is it? It's past midnight. Right now. Suddenly, a familiar voice came from afar. It's not that my liver is big. It's your liver. It's as small as a pea. Middle buttocks leisurely step back, closer to the two of them. You wonder ask. I still haven't slept yet. Here are 8 things like this. The Yogen said we were nervous. The bewildered Chinese asked nervously why. Yoga nasty aesthetic name. This boy is about to start again. The impotent Yogen said, I know. If you lose, you will die with me. Like the words of Chu, but it made him feel a little surprised. And in amazement, he said casually. Only those who are not well prepared. I just feel nervous. It's not that. Chun Cotton smiled shyly and said, no, it's not like that. We are afraid that tomorrow will not perform well. The buttocks quickly interrupted his brother. So if you go back in time to 10 days ago, can you do anything else, brother? So, to face your unexpected question. The two of them looked at each other, not knowing what to say. Stammering 10 days. Chun Cotton remembers the days of hard training. Without fear. I shuddered back 10 days ago. You're training like crazy again. Just think about it. My stomach is already hurting. The buttocks continue to speak. For those who have done their best. There's nothing to be nervous about. Now the brothers are not nervous. I just don't believe in myself. Body only. If you are weak, you have to accept it. The important thing is the brothers have done their best. Have you tried your best yet? Let's face that question. Chun Cotton is a little confused and surprised. He was silent and did not answer. After a while, Qian said bluntly, yes, I did my best. One thing I'm sure of is that we've all worked hard. My heart is content to say that is enough. No matter what anyone says, we will still recognize one thing, that the brothers really did their best. So don't stand here wasting your time, because things aren't happening anymore. Let's go to bed. Go to bed before the game to stay healthy. It's just real power. It's also an effort. After that, the Chinese quickly turned around and left. I was wondering where you were going. Chinese Cotton immediately answered the training. He inexplicably asked again. Today is a great opportunity. Middle S calmly said. That's no big deal. Your training is more important than that. That's multiple times. And then you quickly leave. To the surprise of the two of them. Yogan couldn't believe it. He's actually going to practice now. Chung Cotton said don't worry in vain. Even if today is the day of the festival. No matter what, I can only see every appearance. Just like his usual day. What we call CA. Groaning all this time. It's no different than the actions of idiots. Your ass is right. I want to confidently open my mouth and say I tried myself until the last moment. Then, of course, you have to take into account the effort to go to sleep. Let's go to bed. The Yogan sighed helplessly and said, yes, brother. The Yogan quickly went inside. Chung Cotton is still standing there full of contemplation. He's not out of aesthetics. That's a weird kid. With just a few words, I've been working with me and Yogan ever since. Still restless. I could safely go to sleep. Despite the results of this year's conference. No matter how it is. Then there's just the middle of the butt here. Third-generation disciples will only get stronger and stronger. I'm coming right in. The scene moves to a murky deserted forest. Looking at the butt from inside the bush, suddenly peeking out. He glanced warily at his surroundings. No one will be here today. My ass is angry. The snow will not appear. I really just want to break that kid's head. And take the rope and roll it around. Throw it straight down the cliff. Yogan saw that his brother was still standing there. Ask out loud. Brother didn't go into SAO. Chun replied, A ghost that child is my impulse. He sighed depressingly. It was called the urge, but you can't do that with the master. Looking like a crazy ass venting on me. The two pieces are too much. How can I eat in the middle of the night? You have to avoid people like this late at night. Suddenly, my ass felt something. Hurry back and see. But without seeing the shadow of any AI. You wonder about the shadow of the SAO. Hey. I knew it would be like this, but I couldn't see it through my eyes. What are those lame pants? It's not that. It's not some guy or SAO. And they have two people. New bright translucent sheet that you two were supposed to meet in this jungle SAO. This one. I think I smell something. He 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 he. I just thought the ass. There was a very devious and cunning smile. Let's go see what they're up to. The middle buttocks quickly chased after them. Running for a long time. They finally stopped. Middle buttocks carefully hidden in nearby tree branches. Follow the situation. See the familiar back shadow on the bottom. Middle butt, bewildered wonder white sky SAO. That name. What is he doing here at this hour? Then the other name is. What's going on, man? Why did that name come here? Kim Long said to Bok Thin. Looks like you're still living well. Dong Long. The atmosphere between the two is tense. White Sky eyebrows tightened lower near the voice. You look so relaxed. Kim Long raised his eyebrows, looking leisurely. Smiling softly, he replied. Why can't we relax? Then his voice suddenly stretched out, as if deliberately emphasizing the brass letters. Long second letter. White Sky glare. Kim Long frequency. It doesn't seem like fun to be called. The Middle East is completely unfathomable. So in my own unconscious surprise, I couldn't help laughing out loud. Kim Long and Bai Thin are both martial arts students, so the armor is lighter than normal people. Especially in the late night. Everything is in silence, to make Kier's strange sound more prominent. White Sky and Kim Long very quickly recognized strange sounds. It's coming out of the tree behind the white body. He stared at the shade of the bushes and the trees, with the wind blowing, and then unconsciously take your eyes off your surroundings. Middle ass now hard-hugging mouth, or stop laughing, or a small laugh. Avoid the suspicions of the other two. He crouched and hid himself in the tree trunk, to the corners of your eyes with tears. Bok Thin slit lowered his head with a low voice. Stop calling me by that name. Then I turned to Kim Long, with a resolute voice telling me I'm White Sky. But Kim Long doesn't care about the unsightly face of Bok Thin. He must have found it more interesting. With a mocking smile on her lips, Kim Long's voice obviously replied, You can't give up the name your parents gave you. No matter what, you're still the Dragon King. The middle buttocks are indeed this other name of Bok Thin. Fisting for laughing, he's obviously been trying. 2 hands with mouth to stop laughing to internal shivering thinking stomach. Bok Thin's real name is Dong Long. Do you think those two are brothers? The middle buttocks moved their gaze to the bottom. The middle buttocks unconsciously muttered, one is Kim Long and the other is Dong Long. I really want to meet the parents of these two. Finally, what does he think of naming his children that way? Yeah. I told you I was white. White Sky angry loud voice. Dragon, I know. But the enemy is like this, over and over again. Despise White Sky, and Kim Long was clearly intentional. Maybe because I want to annoy you. Or simply don't look your words in the eye. And that makes the white angel squint his eyes and clench his eyebrows. More anger, more than. But that, it seems like your life in the painting is in DTO. Your face looks fine. White Sky can be seen. The irony of Kim Long's voice. I resented the question. What do you want to say, after all? I simply want to see you. Kim Long replied calmly. White Heaven has not let down his guard yet. But you're silent. Because I'm curious. I don't know if my brother left home to join Hoa Sun. How are you living? It's still Tuantu's face. And a gentle smile. Make it look hard for the White Sky. Kim Long replied with a grin. Not 2 years ago, I knew. White Sky replied. Kim Long replied with the same mocking voice. I'm the one who kicked a dog in the ass. No matter how many times you lose, you will not be able to pay. Surely he will not let the White Sky forget how pathetic he was himself. No matter where or what time. It makes me angry, but at the same time nervous. Scary bastard. He's the kind of guy who pretends to be peaceful outside, to hide the corruption inside. For those he thinks are weaker than himself. He'll treat that person very cruelly and cruelly. I know him too well. Inadvertent Kim Long smirked his lips. It's different from the usual image. Is a gentleman associated with elegant mildness. In front of the white sky, Han somewhat revealed his nature. The sarcasm of obvious mockery. I have also been a victim of cold blood. White sky is cold. Expect nothing at the reunion this night. Then suddenly, Kim Long's voice half joked. Tell. How about Kim Long blatantly said. If you would kneel down now, please. Maybe the South will accept you. White sky clenched his fist and shivered. It's like a bare ring. Don't say shit. I am now a second-generation disciple of Hua Sun. Big brother White Sky. My goal is to turn Hua Sun into a sect, standing above the New South. So, never say those words in front of me. One more time. White Sky yelled out loud. No matter what, if we pray, you'll not laugh too. And never seem to have said these words to me. Or why? Because you're such a bad person. Kim Long smiled as if satisfied. Our brotherhood is a miracle. Living apart for such a long time. You still understand me very well, Kim Long satirized. But you clearly made the wrong choice. Maybe she wants to beat me. Then you have to go to the South. Maybe that's why Ra has a little ability. But you chose paint instead of paint. Join a faction that has fallen to defeat me. Middle buttocks quietly monitoring frequency Kim Long. The more you talk, the more you talk. It's like hearing the funniest story of the year. Kim Long laughed loudly. Laughing is ironic. It's like being in your own frenzy. Uttered. Even the dog knows it's a myth. In sarcastic laughter, there is nothing to hide from Kim Long. The sky fell silent for a moment. And White Sky directly confirmed it. You're right. Originally, the reason that I joined Hua Sun is because I was angry. I want to lead the paint. The one you hate to beat. Great CA people always despise and treat arbitrarily with ta. Kim Long laughed at the pain of others. Say, even if you're angry. That thought is too stupid. I have to say that it's over for you. At first, it was because of my low voice. But I really like paint. Living in the name of Big Brother. Student life to White Sky. I feel that my life is meaningful. Then White Sky gently bent over the power. Carry the meaning of and the appearance of a big brother. In the face of a despicable, he turned his childhood into a nightmare. The Lord is humble to say. If so, please make me strong. In the ass watching love, I can see a different side of the White Sky. I can't help but be a little surprised. He has his own love. Living in the name of the second life, of a failed sect. You feel that life is so meaningful. I can't believe he's so commendable. Middle buttocks think belly, but there still seem to be people who despise. It's not like you've lost your mind. Middle buttocks glared. Kim Long laughed sarcastically, slamming the bastard. You're not allowed to disrespect the mountain. Now, White Heaven's voice was as loud and clear as a bell. It's like a warning. As a wake-up call to Kim Long. Although in your eyes this is very strange. But since I've been here, I've realized one thing. Not to join a good sect. To eat good food. If you wear beautiful clothes, you'll be happy. Maybe White haven't noticed for a while. Live with your ass listening. At least this place needs me. And we can set ourselves a goal. It's about turning this place into a cult. I'm not jealous of anywhere else. Kim Long frowned. Seemed to feel the words of the White Sky uttering. It's ridiculous and ridiculous. I can't laugh now. Paint is a place that gives us a purpose. And it's this place that covers it.